Hello, Odd Job Doer here, and today we're going to work on this leaky pipe. And we got to take a little hacksaw here, and we're going to cut it right in through here, right past that fitting, right over here, past this fitting down here, and measure and see how much pipe we need, what kind we need. And yeah, this thing here started leaking after we unearthed it from a thing. And so yeah, I got my little hacksaw. It's a 18 tooth saw, and so I believe that means 18 teeth per inch, and it works pretty good on plastic and as well as metal. So I got some cutting done, and yeah, some cutting done right here, over there, and then we'll see where we are from there. All right, so as you can see there, we sprung a little leak there, but that's a reminder. Make sure you have your water turned off like I did. Some extra water will be leaking out of this thing, probably both sides after we get cut out. And here's a tip, that if you get this thing cut and if backwater keeps leaking out of it, you don't want any water when you're gluing. So you can take a little ball of bread, white bread, probably wheat, and ball it up, and then stick it back into the pipe, and that should keep the leaks from coming for a little bit, enough time for you to glue the pipe together. And afterwards, when it's all said and done, you can turn the water back on, and that water is going to dissolve the bread, or should. So I'll keep hacking on this here, and yeah, get back to it. All right, behold this contraption. And so what I found out here with this thing is, so we cut off this end over here, and they glue all this weird stuff together. They put this cap here, which looks like it would have been good to add on a valve or something outside. So that's kind of smart. But then, of course, it's buried, so nobody would know that except for the person that did this in the first place. And this right here, this is the part when I look at. You see they got that black gunk there? Well, chances are whoever pieced this together in the first place a long time ago knew this thing was leaking. Now, I don't know how bad it was leaking, or if it was just, if this stopped it up, but yeah, they got this hardened plastic gunk, and on the outside here you can see where it used to hook into, right down there, with a little shadow finger. Yeah, when I took this thing off and cut it over here, and I cut it down here, that part there just slipped right off. So it might have been leaking for a long time. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it just took a little bit of a pressure to cause it to leak. But when we get this glued back together, it'll be leak tight. Now, a new problem happened though. While we were doing this, we found out that this here is actually a T. This thing here actually goes back under here, and so I'm gonna have to add a little more digging to this job. All right, well, we get to work. All right, to recap, so we had that T here, which looks a whole lot like this. And so you'll see it's a slip fitting here, slip fitting and threaded right here. And so I unscrewed it, and there's a little copper pipe that comes out from underground. You'll see it later. And before I put this thing back on, and went to the hardware store. Behold, stuff. And so for this one here, we got this replacement, and has some threads in there, slip and slip, 3/4 schedule 40 is what this size is. This might be different, but this is pretty common for around here. And I believe the schedule 40 means it has a thicker wall to it. Yeah, could be wrong, probably not. And let's see what we got here. So we got this one here to replace that. We have two slip-on unions. These two will go at the ends that we cut off outside to attach the new assembly. And this right here we have left over from another job. This here is some scheduled 40 pipe. I'm going to say it here, but somewhere it does. And unfortunately, we need more of this. So I bought about, a 10-foot section that's outside. So I want to show this thing here. We have, of course, the reamer from other jobs. I take that, and after you cut it, you'll ream the inside here. Spins around. I like to take a little file to bevel the outside parts of it. And I've shown you the hacksaw, of course, but there's also this here PVC cutter, all right? And you got a blade here, which should be pretty razor sharp. And if not, if you know how to do it, you can file it, make it sharper. And to give you an example of how this works, you got your PVC pipe. You get it in there. Did you see that? Yeah. And so the back here engages with a little ratcheting motion. All right, and as you're doing that, the top there tightens down on that pipe, and just basically squeeze it and squeeze it and squeeze it some more until it cuts through it like butter, give or take. Could be frozen butter for that matter. And so there you go. It comes out fairly straight, fairly. All right, and we'll see how this part here. It's all cramped up again, and do one of those things. You get that? Okay, abracadabra. And then what else we got here? This guy, yeah, crescent wrench, and or an adjustable wrench, as someone call it. And so what this is going to do is, when I get to putting this thing back on, there's a spigot that comes out, little copper part with a nut on it. I'm going to put this on it, and as I'm holding this down, keep that pipe from twisting, I will use my auger strength to twist this here on and put it back together. And what you need for this here, though, is some of this here. Good old Teflon tape. See that? Take this here, comes out real thin, you wrap it a few times, not in here, of course, but the part that goes in there. Wrap it on the threads, and you put this on. It should be watertight, like tight. And now to plan this out, what you want to do first is not the glue-on pieces. You want to make sure you get this thing here screwed on first. Well, the new one. So you get that on. And then what I think I'll be doing is measuring out my pipe, and I'll glue it in here and one on the other side. And then I'll have the older piece of pipe coming through here, in which case I will glue this on at the same time to this side and that side. And to do any of this PVC stuff, it's best to do this purple primer stuff, right? Purple primer for CPVC and PVC. PVC, I believe, is polyvinyl chloride. A whole lot easier to say than that ABS stuff, but a little bit harder to work with. Because you use this primer, and then why this is still, basically you take this out, you brush the inside, and then some of the outside of the part going into there, brush it on. And why this is still kind of wet, you slap on the cement. We've got some regular PVC cement here. And same thing, you put a thin coat on the inside, you put a little more liberally on the outside of the pipe going in, and you press and twist them together, and hold it for probably 30 seconds again. And then I think it takes like 15 minutes for a good hold, and a little bit longer, which I'll probably just wait overnight again before I actually try water pressure testing it. So there's the parts, there's the methods. Depending on how you're working with things, you have to think about what goes in first, type of thing. And now I'll go outside and clean up the cut pipe ends that are out there, and I'll with a reamer and file. And I will clean up the threads that go into here and probably apply some of this Teflon tape to it. And we'll get back to the project then. Alright, so here's the threading fitting right there. And I'll use some of this Teflon tape and get a few wraps around it. So it looks something like that there. See there? Put the Teflon tape on there now. Take this here. Screw that part on. Just kidding. Right there. And use the crescent wrench to hold right down here. So it doesn't twist out your hand. Alright, so here we have the T on there. And this approach of this pipe here is coming pretty good. And so what I'm going to do is probably cut back a little bit here So I can put a piece of pipe in here, and then, no, a piece of pipe will come out of here, and then a union will go into this part. And got some of this here, use for a little sweat rag, and I'll use this to kind of help clean down the pipe. I'll probably have to do a little sanding around it, you know, chamfer off the end. And remember now, your sweat rag can go from sweat rag to work, but never work to sweat rag. All right, so I'll make the cuts and hopefully get the pipe in there. All right, and there we have that there, all good together. I just need to do that part there. So that part, I might get a few extra parts for it. So we'll get back to this later because it's hot, too hot. Okay. All right, as you can see there, we've got all glued in, and don't mind that. Sometimes accidents happens, and so it's about midnight now, and I guess this job is done for now. The only thing left to do is let it dry real good and give it a test out. So I'll do that probably a couple days, and that's the Odd Job Doer, and thanks for watching. And don't mind that, I'll clean it up.